You know, there often is a story that is building, building, building in independent media. And then we wonder, why is there this invisible wall of resistance from it making its way over to corporate media? And then suddenly the wall falls and the story makes it into corporate media. Even though we've seen sprinklings of this over the last several months, there was something about Donald Trump's ridiculous Spaces interview with Elon Musk on Monday night that has now pushed Trump's speech issues into the mainstream. And this is a good thing to see, particularly if you're just looking at this from strategy. I mean, listen, I don't want Trump to be president again. I think that would be very bad for the country. And so with Joe Biden now stepping aside, Kamala Harris, the Democratic nominee, Democratic support, as well as political donations and polling, consolidating behind Kamala Harris, we need to use whatever tools we have to defeat Donald Trump. One of those tools is accurately pointing out Trump is the oldest major party political nominee ever, of all time, ever. Of course, because Joe Biden decided to step aside. In addition to this, the slurring from Monday night was jarring. Absolutely jarring. Let me see if I have the God bless here. I guess I don't have it here. Oh, wait, no. Do I have it? Where is my God? Yeah.
And God bless the United States.
We remember God bless the United States from when Trump was president, but it's gotten really bad now. And everybody's noticing. We start with MSNBC. Here is MSNBC reporting on the Trump slurring, and they very obvious to them.
But the former president's words were extremely slurred as he phoned in from Mar-a-Lago in front of a flattering painting of himself. Here's some of what Trump had to say.
I know Putin very well. I got along with him very well. He respected me, and it's just one of those things. And we would talk a lot about Ukraine. It was the apple of his eye. But I said, don't ever do it. Don't ever do it. You can't do it, Vladimir. You do it, it's going to be a bad day. You cannot do it. And I told him things that what I do. And he said, no way. And I said, way.
All right. So both confused and slurring. And there was more coverage of this on MSNBC throughout the week. Here's John Lemire.
But I think you hit on something important. Vibes do matter right now. I mean, and that might not be enough to carry one side or the other until Election Day. But right now, it is a stark difference, Gene Robinson, where we're seeing footage night after night of the vice president and her running mate having these raucous, joyful rallies. People are laughing. People are smiling. They're dancing to Beyonce before she takes the stage. Trump, on the other hand, is this. It was a 2 hours. I mean, he was a little more controlled in his rhetoric last night than he has been on the rally stage. At times, he seemed to sort of slur his words a little bit. But he, you could see here, there with the portrait behind him.
So, slurring his words, our friend Ben Meiselas from Midas Touch immediately noticing the exact same thing.
Dentures started trending. Daffy Duck started trending. Donald Trump appeared to be in steep cognitive decline. Let me just show you the lowlights of what went down. I listened to this whole ridiculous thing, so you didn't have to. Donald Trump talked about how we saw the Time magazine cover that just came out with Vice President Kamala Harris, and he remarked that it looked a lot like his third wife, Melania, and said that that doesn't really look like Kamala, but it looks like Melania. Here, listen to what Donald Trump said. Play this clip.
She's terrible. But she's getting a free ride. I saw a picture of her on Time magazine today. She looks like the most beautiful actress ever to live. It was a drawing. And actually, she looked very much like our great first lady, Melania. She didn't look like Camilla. That's right. But of course, she's a beautiful woman. So we'll leave it at that, right?
Now take a listen to Donald Trump's.
All right, you get it. So then it went on and on and on with Ben Meiselas also talking about the slurring, and then a number of other articles about this. Newsweek, Donald Trump's lisp, quote, lisp, during Elon Musk interview raises questions, explaining that it certainly doesn't sound like Trump normally speaks. And then also a USA Today piece, Trump rambles and slurs his way through an Elon Musk interview. It was an unmitigated disaster. Listen, I always advocate an all of the above approach. Is the story accurate? Is it accurate that Donald Trump shockingly slurred his way through hours of conversation with Elon Musk? Yes. Is it plausible that it was some kind of audio processing software? No, because the clips recorded in the room with Trump contain the exact same slurring. Does Trump historically speak with a lisp? No, he does not. So it's a real story. And so when I say we take an all of the above approach, I say we explore all avenues that will defeat this guy. Do we point out the very stark contrast between the positive vision for America laid out by Kamala Harris and Tim Walz in contrast to Donald Trump's apocalyptic and dystopian vision? Yes, we do point that out. Do we remind the audiences and voters that Trump is uniquely and singularly disqualified from the presidency, not in a legal sense, but in the eyes of voters, based on any number of a dozen different things that he did, inciting the riot, being a convicted felon, right? We could take any one of these things and say this alone would be enough to say this guy never steps foot in the Oval Office again. Yes, we do that. Do we also remind people that this is now the oldest presidential nominee in American history who is increasingly having cognitive glitches while he does rallies, increasingly slurring for unexplained reasons, increasingly seeming disoriented and unable to identify people that he presumably knows? Yes, we do that as well. And then do we say, hey, these guys are weird and creepy. It's weird and creepy to want to be in there when you're having a conversation with your doctor. That's weird and creepy. Yes, we do that as well. These are all real stories. They're all accurate stories. Nobody has to make anything up about these folks. But different aspects of this may motivate or appeal to different voters. There are folks for whom hearing Trump say Kamala Harris is dumb and a DEI hire will get them to say, hey, that's racist and misogynistic, and I'm not voting for this guy. I'm either staying home or voting for Harris. Well, then that's great. There are others where we remind them, hey, you know, they say they're for law and order, but this guy's got 34 criminal convictions and other indictments against him. Oh, yeah, you know what? I'm actually for law and order. I'm not going to vote for that. We take an all of the above approach, and then we see where we land in November. So the slurring story going mainstream, and it is a good thing that it is. There are two big problems with the cheap plastic disposable razors. 2/3 of people have skin irritation, and then over 2 billion plastic razors enter our landfills in the United States alone. Now, our sponsor, Henson Shaving, solves both problems. With the plastic disposable razors, you have unstable blades wobbling around as you shave, which causes the irritation. It's like if you were cutting something with scissors or a knife and the blade is wiggling. That's what's happening to your face with the cheap razors. So here's the solution. Razors produced by Henson have a blade that extends only 0.0013 inches past the shave plane. And that means no blade movement, more comfort before and after shaving. This is something only Henson can offer because of their precision manufacturing shop that also makes aerospace parts. Plus, the only part that you replace is the blade itself. The razor will last you a lifetime. Better for your wallet, much better for the planet. When you buy a razor at hensonshaving.com/Pacman, use the code Pacman to get a 2-year supply of blades for free. Make sure to add the blades to your cart. The link is in the description.